just a number that comes to my head when I think of all the years I wanna be with you. Wake up every morning with you in my bed. That's precisely what I plan to do. And you know one of these days, when I get my money right, buy you everything and show you all the finer things in life. We'll forever be in love, so there ain't no need to rush. One day I won't be able to ask loud enough. I'll say, will you marry me? I swear that I mean it. I'll say, will you marry me? How many
Hey guys, what's up? It's Felicia Green here, or Catherine, and yeah. So today I am not going to be doing a game review. I'm probably going to do a game review next Sunday, but yeah. Anyways, I'm doing a movie review of the movie that I watched at school last week, and it's called The Passion of the Christ. So yeah, and today I have Cesar with me, so you can introduce yourself.
Greetings, and let's read this.
Okay, and so I'm going to be reading the plot of this movie, so yeah, and then giving my thoughts on it and stuff. And then Cesar, since he watched the movie, he will give his thoughts on it. So yeah, and so I'm just gonna start reading the plot. It's a really long plot, like I said, but yeah. So the plot is the film opens in Gethsemane at night as Jesus Christ, at the height of his cause, prays while his disciples Peter, James, and John sleep. After he wakes them and tells them to pray, Satan appears in a hooded Adronois. And sorry if I can't read some of these words, guys, but anyway, like pronounce them, but anyways, form, and then tempts him with reasonable doubt, stating it is not right for one man to die for their sins. Ignoring it and praying on, Jesus' sweat turns into blood and drips to the ground, while a snake emerges from Satan's guise. Jesus hears his disciples call out for him, and he rebukes Satan by stomping on the snake's head, and Satan vanishes. After receiving a bribe for 30 pieces of silver, Judas, another one of Jesus' disciples, approaches with a group of temple guards and betrays Jesus by confirmation of his identity with a simple kiss on the cheek. As the armed guards move in to arrest Jesus, Peter draws his dagger and slashes off the ear of Malchus, one of the guards, and a servant of the high priest Caiaphas. I don't know how to pronounce that either. Okay, Jesus in turn heals the ear as he reprimands Peter for his actions. As the disciples flee, the guards secure Jesus and beat him during the journey to the Sanhedrin. John informs Mary, the mother of Jesus, and Mary of Mary Magdalene of the arrest, while Peter follows Jesus and his captators at a distance. Caiaphas holds trial over the objection of some of the other priests, who are expelled from the court. When questioned by Caiaphas if he is the Son of God, Jesus replies, I am. Caiaphas is horrified, tears his robe in outrage, and Jesus is condemned to death for blasphemy. Peter, secretly watching, is confronted by the surrounding mob for being a follower of Jesus, and he angrily denies this 3 times, but after cursing at the mob during the 3rd denial, a sobbing Peter flees after remembering that Jesus had foretold this coping of a defense. Meanwhile, a guilt-ridden Judas attempts to return the money he was paid to have Jesus freed, but is refused by the priests. Tormented by demons, he flees the city, finds solitude, and hangs himself from a tree with the rope he finds on a dead donkey at dawn. Caiaphas brings Jesus before Pontius Pilate to be condemned to death, but after questioning Jesus and finding no fault, a sympathetic Pilate instead relays him to the court of Herod Antipas. As Jesus is from Antipas' ruling town of Nazareth, Galilee. After Jesus is again found not guilty and returned, Pilate offers the crowd options for either him to chastise Jesus or release him. He then attempts to have Jesus freed by the people's choice between Jesus and a violent criminal, Barnabas. To his dismay, the crowd demands to have Barnabas freed and Jesus killed. In an attempt to appease the moment, Pilate orders that he simply be punished. Jesus is brutally scourged, abused, and and mocked by the Roman guards as king oh my God, I'm sorry, King of the Jews, with a crown of thorns. However, Capicus, with the crowd's verbal backing, continues to demand that Jesus be crucified as a heretic and Barnabas released. Admonished, Pilate washes his hands, takes no responsibility of the incident, and reluctantly orders Jesus' crucifixion. During the course of events, Satan watches Jesus' body sufferings with great interest. A dismayed Pilate watches the march, while his wife Quilita, who knows of Jesus' status as a holy man, comforts him. As Jesus labors to carry a heavy wooden cross along the Via Dolorosa to Calvary, a woman avoids the escort of soldiers and wipes Jesus' face with her veil. Jesus is beaten and pressed by the guards until the unwilling Simon of Cyrene is forced into carrying the cross with him. At the end of their travel, with his mother Mary Magdalene, and other witnessing Jesus is crucified, the very act seems to affect the weather and condition of the earth itself. As he hangs from the cross, Jesus prays to God, asking forgiveness for the people who did this to him, and redeems a criminal as a saint who is crucified beside him. Succumbing to impending death, Jesus gives up his spirit and dies. A single droplet of rain falls from the sky to the ground, triggering a sudden earthquake which destroys the holy temple and rips the cloth covering the Holy of Holies in two. To the horror of Capicus and the other priests, Satan is shown screaming in agonizing defeat. Jesus' lifeless body is taken down from the cross and entombed. In the end, the healed body of Jesus rises from the dead and exits the tomb resurrected. So yeah, that was the plot, and that was a very long plot. So yeah, and also, are you still there, Cesar?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, so I'm gonna give my thoughts on the movie. So I don't really have positives really, but I'm just gonna say like stuff about the movie and stuff. Well, like my thoughts, what I think about the movie. So I actually think this was like a very good movie. Actually, it really like showed what Jesus had to go through for all of us. Like he like basically died for all of us because he just loves us so much, and he had to go through all of this. He didn't Jesus, he didn't want to like give up or anything. Like he just wanted to like do this. He let them beat him. He let the people like make fun of him. He let the people just like beat him to death and abuse him until he bleeded and everything. And he did all that because he loves us so much, and he wanted to take away all the sins that we have and everything. So yeah, and the thing is that I actually feel watching all of that, it actually made me feel like very bad. It made me actually feel like mad. It made me go through like so many emotions watching this. And yeah, but even though it made me like feel all those emotions, I still know that Jesus did it for me and for all of us, because, you know, like I said, he loves us and stuff. So yeah, and yeah, so basically, just so well, what was I about to say? Well, that's what I liked about the movie. And what I don't like really is I didn't like some of the parts that were kind of pretty disturbing, because this movie was very graphic, and my teacher was actually not kidding, because he was just like, this movie is very graphic, and he was not kidding. There was a lot of blood, a lot of blood. Like, honestly, when they were pinning Jesus to the cross, when they were putting nails in him, and I didn't want to watch that part, so I looked away because I just couldn't watch that. Like, it was just really kind of disgusting. Like I usually don't like watching these kind of movies with lots of blood and stuff, but I mean, I just know that that's what Jesus had to go through, like, for us, and he just didn't want to give up, which I find that amazing, and I thank him for that. So yeah, and that's my only negative for that. But for overall, I give this movie a 10 out of 10 because it's actually really good. It shows all of us what Jesus had to go through. It did a great job of doing that. It's very emotional. You go through a lot of emotions watching it. You could be mad, you could be sad, and you could just go through lots of emotions. And yeah, so I think that this movie was very good, and I'm actually glad that I got the opportunity to watch it at my school. So yeah, and it actually really changed the way that I see Jesus, and it really changed me as a person from after watching that movie. Like, it really changed me as like, from, like, since I'm a Christian, it really changed, like, how I view, like, what Jesus, like, did for us, because I actually got to see it in the movie. And yeah. So yeah, and now I actually know what Easter is all about, because Easter just isn't about, like, all the candy and all that stuff, even though that's nice and all. But Easter, the true meaning of Easter, it's really about how Jesus went all through this for us, and how he just resurrected and rised from the dead again. So yeah, so that's all I have to say, and that's all my thoughts for this movie. So yeah, and Cesar, do you have anything to say about the movie?
I don't have much of it, but I know that Jesus died for all of us.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much that actually touched me so much that sometimes I realize in myself that what I'm going through or what is wrong with me.
Yeah.
But I know that sometimes I need Jesus for in cases if I feel sorry, and at the same time I feel trapped.
Yeah.
And what else can anyone save us from some apocalyptic event?
Yeah.
Jesus, of course. So, just like she said, 10 out of 10. And it was a good movie after all. Yeah, sometimes I just keep in mind that I have to be nice all the time, even though it's on the active days. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
That's all you have to say for it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so guys, that was me and Cesar's review of the movie called Passion of the Christ. So yeah. And I recommend you guys watching this movie. If you guys, like, believe in Jesus and stuff, I recommend you guys could watch this movie maybe for Easter and stuff. If your parents will let you, because it is an R-rated movie, and it's not, like, for kids and stuff, because it just has a lot of blood and stuff. So if you want to watch this movie, I would recommend that you wait until you get older to watch it. And yeah, because it's very graphic and stuff, but it is still a really good movie. So yeah, guys, and yeah, so that's all me and Cesar have to say. So yeah, so I hope you all enjoyed this review. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, so this is Felicia Green and
Cesar speaking. God bless everyone. God bless America. God bless Puerto Rico, and God bless you all. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Take my hand, take a breath, pull me close and take one step. Keep your trust me.